Boys and girls, welcome to week 3 science. We are going to be learning about space this week, and there are 3 things that you have to complete. First, you need to read 11.2 in the Cambridge book. You need to complete 11.2, The Truth About the Stars, and then complete the space task cards. Now, if you stick with me through this video, I am going to be reading the science chapter for you. I will also go through this Truth About the Stars workbook page that will help you when you complete this assignment. And once you're finished, if you're still curious about space, because there's just so much to learn about space, there are 2 great websites that I'm going to kind of show you a glimpse of what they look like. And then also, if you go to Flocabulary or Brain Pop, there is a Flocabulary video on stars and a Brain Pop video on the life cycle of stars. So those would be pretty neat to check out to give you a better understanding of stars and just of space. So let's dive right into this Starry Skies, chapter 11.2. Zoom in a little bit. So at night, if there are no clouds, you can see the stars. They appear as bright spots of light in the night sky. We're all used to going outside at night and just staring up at the stars and seeing if we can find the Big Dipper or any other arrangement of stars. But we cannot see the stars during the day. This is because the light from the sun makes the sky too bright. So moving stars. If you sit and watch the stars, you will see that they seem to move across the sky. The photograph on the right shows how the stars appear to move. So some of you may have been lucky enough to actually see a shooting star. But this photograph was made using a camera which recorded the tracks of stars for 2 hours. So it shows us how the stars appear to move in the night sky. And then if we look at star patterns, the brightest stars in the night sky seem to form patterns. These are called constellations. Although the stars of a constellation look close together in the sky, they may be very far apart in space. So even though we see them, they look like they're really close together. In reality, if we could go into space and see the stars close up, they would be very, very far apart. The pictures on the right show 2 constellations with shapes that are easy to remember. Many constellations were given their names by ancient Greeks over 2,000 years ago. So here is the stars of the Orion constellation and the stars of the Cassiopeia constellation. So then throughout the year, we see different constellations at different times of the year. For example, Orion is easy to see from November to February, but it cannot be seen from May to June. This happens because of the movement of the Earth. As we already discussed, the Earth is in orbit around the Sun, so it follows a path through space. This path is called its orbit. So it takes one year for the Earth to travel all the way around its orbit. The diagram shows the position of the Earth in January. So we're right here in January, and then we're all the way over here in July. To see the stars, you need to be on the dark side of the Earth. The diagram shows why you see different stars in January and in July. So that's why, because we orbit. We don't stay in the same place. So we can see different constellations throughout the year. And that's why you might not see the same ones every time you go outside to look. So just a summary, this chapter was very short. The stars appear to move across the sky during the night from east to west. This happens because the Earth is turning from west to east. And we see different constellations of stars at different times of the year. This is because the Earth travels along its orbit around the Sun once each year. So that's the main things we need to remember from this chapter. And like I said, there's just so much that we can learn about space. So once you've read that, you're going to go and complete this worksheet. But first, I'm going to kind of just show you this website I found. It's very interesting. There's missions you can go and you can work through these topics if you really want to know more about humans in space or about Earth or about our flight. This website is very cool if you just want to explore. You can also go, like, pretend you're on Mars. So this website is really cool. I suggest you go check it out. And then another one, it's from NASA as well. It has, you can go learn just about Earth or about the sun, solar system, universe. It's kind of all separated, so it's easier for you to see. So let's say I want to learn more about our solar system. If I go here, it's going to tell me, like, there's some games, there's some crafts you can do if you have the materials, and there's activities. So this is a really cool website if you want to dive a little deeper. Again, these two websites are optional if you aren't required to do them, but I would suggest doing it because I think they would be beneficial to you. So let's look at this 11.2, the truth about the stars. So we're going to just kind of work through this together. So if you've stuck around this long, this is going to help you. So it says answer each statement as true or false. For each false statement, choose the choice that makes it correct. If the statement is correct, choose the statement is correct as your answer. So right here, we cannot see the stars during the daytime. That is true. We cannot because the sun is too bright. Excuse me. Okay. This is because they stop shining during the day. Well, no. We cannot see the stars during the day. So the statement is correct as is. That one would be incorrect. The stars do not stop shining during the day. The light from the sun is too bright, so we cannot see them. That's a pretty good choice, but I'm going to look at the rest of these. So the stars do not stop shining during the day. During the day, our atmosphere, they move to the dark side of the world. No, that's definitely not true. And stars do not stop shining during the day. They're a lot brighter. No, so we're going to stick with this one. This light from the sun is too bright. And then at night, we see the stars moving across the sky from north to south. Well, that is not true. We read in the book that we see the stars moving from east to west. And the stars make patterns called constellations. And that is correct. They're not called gas giants or elliptical orbits or white dwarfs. The star patterns are called constellations. So the stars in a constellation are very close to each other in space. Well, in the book, it told us that even though they appear like they are very close together, in reality, they are very far apart. So the stars in a constellation are far apart from one another in space. Then the Earth follows a path called its orbit around the sun, and that is true. The Earth's path is called an orbit. The Earth takes 1 day to travel around its orbit. That is incorrect. It takes 1 day for the Earth to spin or rotate completely, but to travel completely around its orbit, around its path around the sun, it takes 365 and 1/4 days. And then we know every 4 years we have a leap day. So we have leap year every 4 years. So, this one must have had 2 answers. It did. You could, if on number 7, it takes 365 and 1/4 days to travel around its orbit. You could have also put the Earth takes 1 year to travel around its orbit. So it will accept both of these answers. So don't let that one trick you like it tricked me. Okay? So now all that's left for you to do is, you've already read the chapter with me. You need to go in and complete this assignment on your own canvas. so your teacher can see that you've completed it. And then you need to complete the space task cards. And then again, you can check out these 2 websites if you want to explore a little deeper. And then these 2 videos will also help you if you're just a little more curious about stars. So if you have any questions, please ask your teacher. And I hope you have a great week and keep up the hard work, guys.